And this just takes practice, practice, practice. He didn't start out this way, but lots of practice in new places. So he doesn't get to come out the door and go wild and crazy because that becomes his habit. We want him to have a habit of a working mindset when he comes out the door and a working mindset when he's ready to start walking. And we hold the leash a certain way. I have the loop over my thumb and it's hard with mitts. Gordy sit, and you notice Gordy's sitting. His choke collar is on so that it comes across the top of his neck like you've seen before, like so. And I'm going to have this, I call this a choice loop in my hand here, and I keep the leash like this. And this is a choke collar. This works the best for Gordy because he can hear the links. So Gordy knows I got food, but I want him to get the reward behind me, always behind me. Not in front or beside when he's on leash, it's behind. So now when we're ready to go, I step forward with the leg that's closest to Gordy, and I might bring my hand out to the side. The leash is loose, my hand is relaxed. Let's go, here. He takes off, I'm just going to turn and go the other way. He doesn't get to take off like that. And I drop the loop each time I do. So that might take you a while to get out your driveway. Gordy, heel. Just going to back him up. Sit. I want to make sure this choke collar is in front of his e-collar. Now the e-collar, as I said, I'm not using it, but I put it on him because that's his at-work uniform. Behind me for the reward. Good boy, Gord. Here, let's go. Here, I'm going to bring my hand down to bring him in. He's often much smoother. Good boy, Gordy. Yeah, behind for the reward. Now we're going to walk out and go straight up the driveway. Let's go. Here. Now when I correct him, I go to the side, to put him in proper position, not pulling up and back, because he will lean in. If I do that, he's going to lean into it. Sits, it's loose. The smile in the leash between my hand and his chest. Good boy. Gordy likes food. When he knows you got food, he's going to pay a lot more attention. Good boy. Here we go. Here. I'm not just going to come to a sudden stop. I'm going to say, Gordy, sit. 1, 2, 3. 3 small steps. And if he's not sitting, I help him out. Sit. Lots of squirrels here driving him nuts. Gordy, sit. Good. So it's pressure on, pressure off. Quick pop and release. So I'm going to do some left turns into his space. Good. Heel. Good. That's one way to do it. The other way is you just pull to the side. Heel. Hand out. Heel. Good boy. Heel. See how he swings his back end? Heel. Stepping into his space like that with left turns is also a great way to remind him to look for you. And I'm going to walk at a normal pace. I'm going to slow down. If he keeps going, I drop and I turn. When he catches up, I drop again and turn. Good boy. So it's loose. The leash is loose at all times, and it's up to Gordy to keep it loose. I just steer and give him the information that he needs to keep everything loose. But you wouldn't do this in the city, of course not. But the reason I'm showing you this is because it's important to practice this in the yard, in a parking lot, at your office, to the off-leash field. So he's just overwhelmed here with stimulation from squirrels and everything else. But rather than be angry with him because he's not doing what I tell him, I know he's overwhelmed, I know he's overstimulated, I would not use an e-collar for this. I'm just going to say, Gordy, sit. I'm just going to help him sit. There we go. Just help him. You stay calm, you give him a little guidance, and you put him in a sit. If you start walking down the street and tightening this leash, anticipating that he's going to do something wrong, even when he hasn't, then he starts to panic as well, and he will do something wrong. And if you're talking to someone on the street and you're worried about him, drop the leash and stand on it. And then Gordy is the one who sets the boundaries. And you can have a normal conversation with someone on the street, and every time he moves, he self-corrects. It's not up to you, and it's consistent. When you start cranking the leash around, if you keep the leash in your hand, no matter how hard you try, you end up fussing with it and moving it around. And Gordy, the way Gordy is, he's going to start to get jumpy because he's anticipating that you want him to do something. So when you come to a stop, you drop the leash and you step on it. So here we go. He's just got up when I didn't give him a permission to get up. So we're going to just let him set his own boundary here. There we go. See how he backed up? Because then I didn't have to do anything. But when I'm ready to go, I'm not going to leave him tangled up, but I'm also not going to touch his leg. I'm just going to pull it out like so. Very calm. But you see, he's not moving forward. He got up when I didn't tell him, but he hasn't moved forward. So he self-corrected and came back and stood up. The ground is cold and Gordy doesn't have a lot of hair. So we'll give him that. So when he's going to want to put his nose on the ground, no, leave it. And just leave it. It's straight out to the side. And there's lots of walnuts here. Leave it. Good. And we just keep walking, and I don't drop the loop for that. I just keep walking. See there, he stops to sniff, I drop the loop, and I keep walking because Gordy didn't get permission to sniff. He has 100 acres to sniff on. He's been sniffing all day. When we're on a walk, this is work. I might give him some food, sit, to refocus him because he's starting to get a little bit distracted here. Gordy gets distracted really easily. See, he's sniffing, but I'm not asking him to be a police dog. I'm just asking him to walk with me and keep the leash loose. So if it gets too tight, I'm going to do this. Whoop. Good boy, Gordy. Can't fool you. See how I kept it loose there? I didn't have to turn the whole distance, and eventually you don't have to. He'll just adjust. But this takes practice, and in a new area, for your first 10 minutes, he's overwhelmed. You need to stick with the process. Good boy, Gordy. Yeah, thank you. So I'm going to give him some food, but I'm going to give it behind, like that. Good boy, Gordy. Yeah, nice. You're such a good boy. When I feel the leash start to snug up, I drop the loop. And as soon as he feels that extra slack, he knows he has a choice. He either catches up or he accepts the snugness on his neck. Easy. Hey. Here. Good boy. Hey. Good boy. Yeah, good job, Gordy. Now I want to turn left, and he's a little ahead of me. So I just bring my hand out to the leash for a guide. And so that he knows it's coming, and just to keep it out of his face and my face. Hey, heel, heel. Good. Now I'm going to make him a little more accountable. Heel, good. I just drop the leash, and we keep walking. Nope. Bring him back into position. This is why you want to do this in a safe place. You don't want to do it in a busy traffic area. Heel. Your driveway or anywhere where you know Gordy's going to be safe. Because he needs, this is the beginning of walking him off leash. Ready? Heel. Good. I give him a little hand signal, something to follow. Now when I'm ready to let him go, but I'm going to release him in motion. I don't like to have them sit and go like a coiled spring. Gordy, hey, you're free. Go free. So now he's free to take a break.